What's up YouTube? Welcome back to Coach Hayden's DIY Builds, and today we're going to be building a quick some floating shelves for my friend. She had some leftover wood and she asked me if I could build her some floating shelves, so I was like, sure, why not? So I went ahead and kind of pre-cut the wood already, so it's about 28, 26, 24, and 20 by 6 inches. So what I'm doing right now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm pre-drilling my holes. If I told you guys in my previous videos, you always want to pre-drill your holes. So pre-drilling the holes, attaching the screws, and the centerpiece is about 15 inches long that I'm going to actually use to mount to the wall, and we're using that to attach the board to as well. So in the next step, I'm going to show you exactly how we do that. But before we get to it, go ahead and make sure, if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, you go ahead and click that subscribe button down below, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up and comment down below what you guys think. Alright? Alright guys, so as I was saying before in the previous clip, I'm going to show you guys exactly how I put this mounting bar on here. So what I did was I cut it down, I think it's maybe an inch wide all the way around. There was some leftover actual scrap wood that I have pieces, so I decided to use them as a mounting piece to mount it to her wall for her. So it's going to be 5 inches apart from the edge of the board, so I'm using my scale ruler right here to go ahead and measure that and make sure that it's centered. So I want it as centered as possible, so that way that whatever that she puts on there, obviously not anything too heavy of weight, but it'll be able to balance mounted to the wall. So that's going to be the first step you're going to do, obviously after cutting down the pieces that you need first. And then we're going to go ahead and pre-drill our holes. Alright, so now that we already have our board already together, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start painting it. So I'm going to be using some black spray paint, as you can see here, and I'm going to coat it 3 times to make sure that it's coated very even. Now, the paint that I'm using has a built-in primer, so that's why I'm not using a separate primer from this, because it's built-in primer with it. So before you start painting anything, you probably want to be using some gloves so you don't get the paint all on you. So as you can see, I'm using the Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Cover Black Primer Paint. So you can get this at Home Depot or Lowe's. So to get started, you want to start by spraying and kind of keeping it away so it doesn't clunker up on the wood, and then you'll end up having runny paint running down the wood. So keep a distance and spray and coat it all the way evenly through. I try to work all the way until I have it fully covered on one side, and then work on rotating the board until another side, and then touch up any spots that I see are not covered. So also another thing too, when you're using any type of spray paint or aerosol products, anything with like high fumes and stuff, you always want to make sure that you have a well ventilated area, so that way you're not breathing all of this in, these toxins and chemicals. Alright, so now that we have our first board out the way, we're going to go ahead and move on to our second shelf, and we're going to start coating it as well. So I took about, I think, 1.5 cans to get this project done for 3 coats. Just almost like 2 cans, but I mean, you can buy 2 cans to be on the safe side and make sure, or if you just want more coats for your wood. But like I said, we're going to end up sealing this with some semi-gloss spray paint as well at the end once we get done coating all of these, and then I'm going to end up letting them dry overnight and check on them again in the morning just to make sure that I didn't miss any other areas. Alright guys, so as you can see here, this is what the shelf looked like before it was painted, and then you can see the other shelf in the background, what it looks like after it's been painted. So it's kind of dry, it's still kind of wet, so we're just going to leave it there and let it dry, but it looks really good. I like how it came out. Alright guys, so we're back, and I've let them dry actually for about 2 days, and we're going to take a look at them and see exactly how they look. So as before, they were plain and no color on them, and I think they turned out really good. So it looks like There's a little bit of like residue from the wood on there, but they turned out pretty good so far. Doesn't look like I need to touch them up anymore. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the other ones over here. Look pretty good. So this is a simple little DIY quick project that you can do if you just have some laying over wood around the house and you want to just create something to hang up on your walls. So what I did was I actually didn't have any more 1.5 inch screws. So what I did was I used my 2.5 inch screws just to go ahead and attach some of these for the ones I didn't have 2.5 inch screws left. So like here, you can see that the screws are actually sticking out because these are the 2.5 inch screws. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach 1.5 inch screws, so that way this board is attached to here. So that's a quick, easy fix. I just ran out of them, but my friend had them, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to mount them on her wall, and I will show y'all the picture afterwards of exactly what it looks like. So let's go ahead and apply the semi-gloss on these and let's let them dry. Alright, as you can see here, I'm going to be using the Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Cover. It's going to be a clear gloss, and this is what I'm going to be using to actually seal the wood, and this is going to be the final coat for it. So we're going to put 3 coats on all 4 shelves. Alright, so you want to make sure that you're using some gloves so you don't get it all over you. So I'm only using 1 glove because I'm going to be spraying with the other one, so I'm not concerned about it getting it on my hand. Alright, also make sure that you have a well ventilated area because you don't want to be breathing in all those fumes. So I'm in my garage right now, and I usually keep it open, so I have some doors open just to kind of like keep the air ventilated. Alright, so let's get into it. So I'm going to start by going top down, then I'm going to rotate as I see that it's covered on here, right? Nice and shiny. Now I'm going to take this one, I'm going to put it to the side, I'm going to grab the next one. And we're going to complete the process, we're going to repeat the process over for the next 3 boards. Always make sure that you're spraying backwards and not spraying too close, or else it'll run down and it's going to leave bubbles in it, okay? Alright guys, so if you like this project, this quick DIY floating shelf that you can do at home with just some laying around leftover wood, Or if you want to just go buy some wood and get it cut and do some floating shelves at your house, it only takes about 10 minutes to do. Just give the video a thumbs up, hit that like button, and hit that subscribe button, and I will catch y'all in the next video.